Hello and welcome to an educational video about how you can manage your finances and be a smart and safe consumer in today's world of online transactions and social media. This video is produced in collaboration with the BBB Student Ambassador Program, and we'd like to thank our sponsor for the program, Wells Fargo.
So you may be asking yourself, who is the BBB? Well, they are a nonprofit organization with the mission statement to be the leader in advancing marketplace trust. The BBB would like to ensure businesses are trustworthy, help consumers be aware of who to trust and where they can go if they have a problem, and you should always check with the BBB before you do business so you know what you're getting into before you spend money.
So how many of you guys have a credit card, have ever bought something on the internet, a source of income, a savings account, or a cell phone? If you have any of the items listed above, then this information will help you so that you don't get scammed.
Once again, thank you to our program sponsor, Wells Fargo.
Now, at this point, we'd like you to refer to the description where you'll find a quiz. Please answer the quiz questions because we'll be referring to the quiz answers throughout the video as a way to have some interaction with you guys, viewers.
Our next topic is using credit wisely.
So what's so important about credit? First of all, in order to address that, we have to know what is credit. And credit is basically another name for an IOU. So if you guys are underage, as I assume most of you watching this video are, then the liability falls on your parents. So 91% of undergrads have one credit card. 50% of them have 4 or more. But why would you want credit? Well, as we can see from quiz question number 1, it provides you with more protection than cash. So then you might want to know who's monitoring your credit. Well, as seen in quiz question number 2, 3 credit reporting agencies will monitor your credit.
So checking your credits. You ever seen the commercials for freecreditreport.com? Guess what? It's not free. A site you should be aware of is www.annualcreditreport.com. So why did the 3 agencies monitor your credit? To show your credit worthiness. So what's on a credit report? This is the answer to quiz question number 3. It is your name, address, bill paying history, number and types of accounts, late payments, collections, outstanding debt, and when you opened your accounts.
So how do these agencies get your information? Well, they get it from you. And you might be asking, is a higher credit score better or a lower score? Well, the higher scores, such as 680 to 850 or so, are good. Below 550 is qualifying for poor. So what lowers your score? Late or missed payments, high debt to income ratio, using more than 50% of your available credit, or insufficient credit can lower it. And the answer to quiz question number 4, anyone you seek a loan or credit from and a potential employer with your permission can ask for a report.
Our next topic is planning, budgeting, and saving.
So what's living beyond your means? Well, this usually means that you spend money you don't have or you buy things you can't afford. So why would someone choose to do this? Well, they want to look good or they just don't have enough money. And how do you avoid living beyond your means? You want to save enough to have something to live on for 3 months, have a saving and spending plan, and you want to budget your money, which means that you want to plan how you will spend it. You want to ask yourself right now, are you budgeting your money? Are you spending and saving wisely?
So now we're going to talk about impulse buying. An impulse purchase is something unplanned that you buy even though it's not in your budget. Stores sometimes call sales racks an impulse rack. How do you deal with impulse buying? Put in your budgets, you put it on a wish list, or you wait. When budgeting, you should pay yourself first. You should set aside money for savings and bills and ask yourself why. So you have enough in case of an emergency. Ask yourself, what are you saving for?
Our next topic is using cell phones wisely.
So the BBB gets a lot of complaints about cell phone contracts and termination clauses. Getting a cell phone is one of the easiest ways to get credit. What do you use your cell phone for? What service do you actually need? Can you cancel your cell phone contract at any time? The answer to this question is yes, but there is usually a monetary penalty and/or early termination fees. If you can change carriers, can you keep your same number? The answer is yes. That's the answer to quiz question number 5.
So, cell phone contracts. There are a couple of important things to know. First of all is the difference between traditional and prepaid contracts. A prepaid contract has no monthly contract, no credit check, and no hidden fees. However, it may not include all services such as internet, long distance, or texting. The traditional model requires a contract, but the price per minute is typically cheaper. Second, you also want to know what your data plan includes, what it does not, and the fees associated with both. There is also a difference between third-party retailers and authorized dealers. So, manufacturers of phones versus kiosks or retailers that resell. You want to be aware of the different warranties and return policies that accompany these different sellers because they will vary.
Scholarship scams. Students and parents lose more than $100 million annually to scholarship scams. Scammers most commonly imitate government agencies, grant-giving foundations, educational leaders, and scholarship matching services.
What are some warning signs of scholarship scams? Well, they usually have upfront fees, they guarantee winnings, anyone is eligible, we apply for you, high success rates, unsolicited opportunities, and a first come, first served mentality.
How to find a legitimate scholarship. You can contact your current counselor. They often have contacts to scholarship programs and financial aid. You can contact financial aid office of the prospective school that you're looking at, as they may have opportunities available such as work studies programs, or you can apply for the FAFSA, which is the free application for federal student aid. It tells students what government-funded aid they are qualified for.
Next topic is going to be avoiding identity theft.
What is identity theft? Well, it is a deliberate use of false or stolen information. So who are the candidates for identity theft, or the people that are most likely to initiate identity theft against you? Well, they're people who apply for a card in your name, establishes a bank account, or uses your personal info for illegitimate purposes. That's the answer to quiz question number 6. Credit card misuse happens most often when you still have your card. And that's the answer to quiz question number 7. Who are the candidates for identity theft? Everyone, especially with a new or unblemished record.
So, who are the thieves in this case of identity theft? Well, in 70% of the cases of identity theft, it's a friend, relative, or neighbor, and not a stranger. This is the answer to quiz question number 8, which is somewhat surprising. So, we also want to know what phishing is. And phishing is a type of internet scam in which some scammer attempts to alert you to some difficulty with one of your accounts and tries to use this to get personal information that they then use to steal your identity.
Are you a victim? You might be a victim if you are contacted by a collection agency for something you never purchased. Charges you never made are on a bank or credit card statement. Your username or password or ATM pin stops working. Your bills go missing, or strange information shows up on your credit report.
So how can you protect yourself from these types of scams or identity theft? Well, you can protect yourself by asking why, by keeping your PIN, social security number, and personal identifiers a secret. Don't carry your social security card on you. Keep birth certificates, social security cards, and etc. in a safe place. And check your credit report every year at annualcreditreport.com. Shred all mail with personal information and do not use the same password for all accounts. Don't share your personal information on Facebook, Twitter, or other social media sites.
What to do? If identity theft strikes, you should immediately change account access information, report fraudulent transactions to creditors, keep a log or record a record of everything you do to resolve the problem. And this is the answer to quiz question number 10.
So, next we're going to talk about internet shopping scams. And these are an important topic because consumers spent over $300 billion online shopping in 2015. By 2017, 60% of all US retail sales will involve the internet in some way, and 83% of consumers belong to at least one loyalty or reward program. 13% belong to 5 or more.
What should you look out for when online shopping? The website should always give a physical address and phone number. You should make sure the site has a privacy policy to tell you how your information will be used and if it will be shared. You should always read the terms and conditions to understand what you've ordered, the cost, any add-ons, return policy, etc. And you should look at the company's BBB business review to see if they have a history of any complaints or unhappy customers.
Our next topic will be safe social networking. Scammers love Facebook and other social media sites. You've probably seen some of these very common scams. Some apps on Facebook might be trying to steal your identity or personal information by asking for more than they actually need to function. Other scams might offer a free gift card for completing surveys when, after each survey, you're just giving the scammers money and there's actually no gift card. Other scams might ask you to watch a crazy video or click on an interesting link, but this link downloads malware and viruses. Some of these scams might block your computer's access to security sites and then steal your password and take over your Facebook to spread the link to even more people.
Phishing Twitter scam. So sometimes scammers will use a direct message system on Twitter, and some tips to avoid this are to not follow short links without expanding them first. You can use a free service like lawnurl.org to check the true destination before following a link. And you should always check the URL in your browser's web address bar before entering any sensitive information. Scammers can fake the look and feel of a website.
Some scams are also on LinkedIn, and these scams are typically phishing to obtain sensitive data like usernames, passwords, and credit card information, or the scammers might impersonate legitimate companies or people. They might send emails and links that direct people to false websites. Typically, these scams will be marked by things like typos, or they might include information that's not relevant to you. They might have names you don't recognize, and also, LinkedIn would never ask you to open an email attachment or install a software update. These are all red flags that indicate that someone is trying to scam you.
How private is your profile? How private is your profile? Each social media site's guide to privacy will tell you how it uses your personal information and what they share with other companies, advertisers, and applications, how to protect your information in your profile, changes they can make to your profile, and what information from your profile is always public. So you may be asking yourself, what is always public? Well, that is your name, your profile picture, your network, and your username/user ID.
So how do you protect yourself from these scammers? Well, if something sounds too good to be true, the odds are it actually is. You want to use strong passwords with combinations of numbers, letters, and symbols. Change your password often. Make sure the computer you're using has active antivirus software that's up to date. Read the privacy policy, and always think before accepting friend requests from people you don't know. Let's say you think you've been scammed. If you've been a victim of a phishing scam, you can report it to a site. Go to the help center of the site and give them the information.
Craigslist. What exactly is Craigslist? Well, it's a network of online communities featuring free online classified advertisements with sections devoted to jobs, housing, personals, for sale, services, forums, etc. Craigslist users self-publish about 50 million new classified ads per month. Craigslist has more than 80 million users in the US alone. And Craigslist.com gets over 50 billion page views per month.
So, what are some popular Craigslist scams? Well, the buyer or seller might guarantee a transaction, certify someone, or claim that Craigslist will handle or provide protection for a payment. These are all false, and Craigslist will not actually handle or provide protection for payment, and a transaction cannot be guaranteed. A distant person might offer a genuine-looking but fake cashier's check. Someone might request wire service payments via Western Union or MoneyGram, and a distant seller might ask for a partial payment upfront, after which he will ship the goods. A foreign company might offer you a job receiving payments from customers and wiring funds.
Tips to help protect yourself. Do your best to do business locally with people you could meet in person. Never wire funds via Western Union, MoneyGram, or any other wire service. Be wary of cashier checks and money orders. Banks will cash them and then hold you responsible when it is discovered that the check/money order is fake. And never give out financial information such as bank account numbers, social security numbers, eBay/PayPal info, etc.
So what we have here is an example of a Craigslist scam email, and we can see already that there are some typos in it, that the person is identifying himself as coming from the Philippines, as unfamiliar with the banking system, and as using checks. So this is obviously has some telltale signs of being a scam. And in this case, you'd want to proceed very carefully.
Thank you for your time and have a lovely rest of your day.